Let me explain. Let me explain something. Check this out.
You've got to be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change.
Check this out.
Welcome to the NumisMeeting number 10. It's hard to believe we're at 10 already, double digits. It feels like only yesterday we started doing these. So with me today, this is Mr. Poppy, and with me today we have Mr. and Aaron. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Hey, yeah, doing good. Feels good to be coming into the weekend. Just got off of the Tyara AMA, so shout out to those guys. That was a fun AMA, and yeah, doing good, doing good. Just excited to talk about our Goblintown giveaway.
Yeah, among other things. But yeah, I'm also very excited about that. How are you doing today, Aaron?
Awesome. I had fun over there. I'm glad that we got to the next part. Come to the Numis meeting and see if we'll have a recording, a nice recording here about the contest for everybody to listen to. That's what I'm really excited about right now. It's just get that breakdown that we can share around with people. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, AMA into NumisMeeting into the weekend, and it's a weekend where the price in crypto markets isn't looking too bad. It's kind of stable, kind of boring, but I'm happy with boring right now.
Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on maybe kind of macro and where we're headed, man.
You know, honestly, I would say things are just very indecisive. You're starting to see markets price in the suspicion of a U.S. Fed pivot, meaning that they'll back off on their hawkishness, which means there would leave room for markets to recover a bit. But that's not a guarantee. And the most recent economic data kind of gave mixed signals. It does show that there's a little bit lower demand in terms of jobs, but there's still more than I think the Fed would like to see, which leaves open the possibility of additional kind of aggressive rate hikes. You know, and of course you have the added complexity in the EU with the winter coming, energy crisis, the war in Russia, and OPEC also not exactly playing nice in terms of energy costs here across the board. Could have some big impacts later this year as we go, you know, deeper into Q4. So I would say, you know, same thing I always do, which is if you are actively trading in this market, whether it's NumisMe and or other things, just trade safely. Dollar cost average is always your safest bet in these markets because we don't know how long it's going to go for. Any thoughts from you gentlemen on the macro, or shall we get into the agenda?
Yeah, well, you know, just from a macro perspective, you know, what's really interesting for me is the correlation between gold and Bitcoin right now, right? It's getting a little bit more tightly correlated, and we're starting to see a little bit of a decoupling, don't want to jinx it, but it seems like the markets are starting to behave a bit independently of equities like the S&P, especially the S&P 500.
Yeah.
And that I think is really interesting, especially as we see a lot of, outside the US, a lot of markets seem to be starting to behave in a way where there's a flight away from their own local fiat and into crypto, whether it's Bitcoin or ETH, BTC or ETH. And that's really promising, right? Because we've never kind of been in this macro environment where we're facing not just coming off the back of a massive global pandemic, massive inflation based off of printing, almost, massive printing of fiat, and then facing, looking the prospect of a global recession and with a risk of an actual depression, looking that in the eye. This is something we've never seen before. And for me, just kind of starting to see these little tiny signs of, whether it's correlation with gold price action or a little bit of a decoupling from of BTC and ETH from equities markets and starting to look like a flight into safety, a safe haven kind of asset class. It's looking really interesting. We've never seen all these different variables come together before. So, I'm really, cautiously optimistic, to put into your words recently, Mr. Pappy. But yeah, I think really cool place to be. Let's see what happens over the next few weeks, maybe a couple months.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do they say? We're here early. And I truly believe that, when you look back at the bull market and you saw those guys that had a lot of money and, they were just taking profit left and right. That's because they started in this, well, maybe not quite this bad of a climate, but they started when markets were down. That's the time to buy. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about NumisMe. So did we want to lead with goblins, or did we have some other project updates we wanted to start with?
Yeah, maybe I'll just get some of the housekeeping out of the way because do want to definitely focus on this Goblintown campaign. But and just a quick shout out to Young Savior. Definitely see your request. We usually save the live voice Q&A or the community conversation portion for the end of this. But we're looking to make this a shorter one. So we'll get to you. We'll get your request up and we'll bring you on stage. Just if you could hold tight, sir. But yeah, a few project updates. So here we go. We have our revenue. We have our Noom staking to earn ETH rewards. We have that actually deployed now. So what that means is anybody that's staking Noom will earn ETH, right, as a reward for staking your Noom. And kind of the best way to do that is to take your Noom rewards, right, that you're earning from whether you're in the vault and earning vault rewards or you're a liquidity provider and you're earning LP rewards, right? Those rewards come to you in the form of Noom. And the best thing to do with that is instead of selling it, right, instead of selling your Noom rewards for ETH at a one time, one and done, and then you don't own your Noom anymore, what we're saying is hold on to your Noom. But better than hold on to your Noom, stake your Noom so that you can keep on earning ETH, right? And for everyone that is, in the vault, whether you're holding Noom or in the vaults or an LP, what have you, if you go to app.numisme.io, what you'll see is in the staking page, there's a place where you can actually claim your ETH. And one thing that we added recently was a little box that helps track how much ETH has been claimed to date by Noom stakers. And to kind of wrap all that up, we have a new Dune dashboard that we're sharing out with the community. Maybe that's something that we can tweet out as well in the near future. But that'll help everyone kind of keep track of project metrics, where how much revenue is being generated off our Vault TVL. But that's a living, breathing dashboard, and we're constantly making changes and updating it, upgrading it, right? So definitely excited to have all those pieces out there because all of that, right? The Dune dashboard, the little box that shows how much ETH has been claimed to date, and the claim button that allows you to claim the ETH for your staked Noom. All of that is kind of that one milestone that represents the start of us being able to give out the ETH as a reward for staking your Noom. So really excited about that. That's a pretty cool project update. Another thing I wanted to mention was and we've been talking about this a little bit, but we're really excited with the progress we're making on the PayMe self-repaying loans. The UI refresh that we're doing, right? And just to recap that a little bit, we were ready to launch. We all the contracts were audited. We patched them. We built the staging environment to test them on test nets, and we finished all that testing, and we were just about ready to launch. But as part of that testing process, what we realized was we were getting feedback from users that there was a usability issue. There's a user experience issue, and that was related to the design of the product, right? The way it looks and the way you interact with that particular product. And so we've taken a beat. We've delayed the launch, and we've gone into UX rehaul, right, mode. And that's where we are. So that's progressing really well. So it shouldn't be too much more time. Maybe 2 or 3 more Numis meetings before we come online with the PayMe self-repaying loans. But yeah, things are progressing really well there. So excited about that. And then finally, kind of the last little project update is I did drop a little bit of this alpha not too long ago. But hey, for everyone that's listening live, for anybody listening to the recording, check this out. We're actually a few of us are headed to Dubai next week in prep for a conference that we have out there. And that is, we're really excited to go into that conference and really start to explore the potential for us to launch in that market. And the reason we're doing that is because the environment out there is just so much more friendly to innovation in crypto, and there's a lot of demand for crypto innovation out there, and we we're I think, cautiously optimistic. Well, I was straight up optimistic. Let's say straight up optimistic that good things will come of it. To the point where we have a booth out there. We've been spending a lot of time making sure the booth is all set up, that we have everything we need, whether it's banners or handouts. Got to rent all the tables and the backdrops and the TVs. It's a whole thing. And we're a pitch sponsor out there too, and it's the World World Blockchain Expo out there. Actually, that's probably the wrong name for it. Sorry, it's escaping me at the moment. There are a few conferences out there in right around each other in time. Anyway, sponsor out there, so we're going to be pitching, and really excited for that because Misam's going to get on stage. He's going to do the spiel, and we're really the point of us going out there is to not necessarily get in front of retail investors, but really get in front of institutions, right? Retail partners that we can talk to and see if there's anything that can, help us, anyone out there that can help us create allow us to launch in that market, right? So yeah, so a few things happening. They're all kind of like really cool on their own, but it's really cool that we're doing all of these things at the same time, which kind of just speaks to you guys, Mr. Pappy and Aaron, the fact that we have a team, right, that we can execute on so many different priorities at the same time. It really does keep the project moving forward, right? So,
yeah.
Yes, with that, I'm out of breath. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's a good rundown. I'm jealous I don't get to go to Dubai, but I do get to talk about Goblintown, our favorite NFT project, and we're doing a October giveaway for the whole month of October. We're running a few contests, and they're a little bit of a Halloween theme, which is why we decided to go with Goblintown. One, we respect the project. We think they're doing fantastic things. Truth Labs, we really love everything. And we think that given the current market, the goblins are a perfect kind of giveaway. And not just that, we're also giving away some of the Illuminati NFTs, which are another project under Truth Labs. But let me give you a little bit of a breakdown. Our intent with this, of course, it's kind of twofold. One, we really truly want the bear markets to be fun. It gets boring. It gets repetitive. People lose interest. People get frustrated, stressed, and there's a lot of ways that you can mitigate that. And that's what you see in a lot of communities right now. They host gaming nights. They host movie nights. They host in-person get-togethers. And they host giveaways, contests, lots of other things. And so this is just one of many things we're going to do to make it fun. But also we hope that it shines a light on, some of the fantastic services that we offer within our decentralized app at NumisMe. And we hope that it shines great artistry out there. So which takes me to the very first contest, which is the art contest. Contest number 1 is for our artists in the space. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be an amazing artist. It doesn't mean you have to have, your own NFT project or host it in a gallery somewhere. No, this is about having fun. We want to see creative ideas. So the contest here is you draw a goblin or you draw a grumple, which are 2 characters out of the Goblintown ecosystem. You draw either in your style, inspired by the Goblintown, characters. And we will vote as a community. We'll vote on those at the end of October, around Halloween. We're going to vote on our favorite, and the winner will get 4 Illuminati NFT passes. Those are one. The art is just baller. The art is amazing. It's so colorful, beautiful, lots of flowing lines. It's very much Gray, who is the the lead artist for Goblintown. You really can see it just pop the screen. His style is phenomenal. So anyways, we're going to give away 4 of those to to our favorite drawing, and those also will qualify the holder for entries into the raffles that Truth Labs does. Truth Labs gives away NFTs from their treasury, and the holders of some of their NFTs qualify, including these Illuminati passes. So that's a gift that could keep giving. You get those, and you could keep getting entered for a chance to win some more NFTs. The second one, this one's for our NumisMe. Second one is very simple. You buy Noom tokens, and you get a chance to win a Grumple Trap. Now, a Grumple Trap, there's 3 levels to these. To make these traps, you had to either lock up a cage with a burger in it to trap the Grumple. That was the concept, right? And so you would either have 1, 2, or 3 McGoblin burgers in there. And basically, that's different levels of rarity. 1 burger was lower rarity, 2 burgers is medium, and 3 burgers was the most rarity. So right now we have up for grabs a 2 rarity one. And from what we're seeing, those ones are going to be a collaboration between Goblintown and some of the leading projects in the space. And I really mean that. We're talking about what looks like Gremplin and Nouns DAO or Cryptodes. This is one of the most famous artists in the space. We also see Moonbirds in there. So that looks like Proof, who owns the Moonbird, and in the Moonbirds oddities and lots of other stuff. Look like they're collaborating on these. So that's going to be really interesting when that finishes its reveal. I'm actually most excited to see that because I'm a big fan personally of Gremplin and Cryptodes. So we'll see where that goes. But every $50 of Noom you buy gets you an entry into that. And for people that are just doing a regular dollar cost average entry into NumisMe or other projects, right? Whatever your strategy might be, wherever we fit into that. Now you're just in for more. I mean, you buy $100 of it. Hey, that's 2 entries. That's not bad chances. Number three is for just general DeFi investors. So if you're an investor out there, maybe you're not using NumisMe right now, but we actually do have a lot of really great vault strategies for things like Ethereum, Convex, multiple stable coins. And we also offer market leading rates, APRs. So this is really partially to just get the word out like, hey, I know we're doing big things. Our long-term vision, our long-term roadmap is to really integrate DeFi into brick and mortar retail consumer point of sale, right? That's the ultimate goal. But we also do have a back end, which is all of the DeFi services, the standard yield aggregator, savings account concepts. We have all of those. And so this is going to reward any investors that maybe check out NumisMe. Maybe you want to try out the vault. Maybe you have some Ethereum you want to lock up. And we have a triply audited protocol. This is as secure as we can make it. And, I think that one's the same as the NumisMe one. So every $50 you lock up into our vaults during October, this will get you a chance to win an actual goblin. This will be Goblintown Goblin, one of the very I don't want to say, was that central, the heart of the Goblintown project, right? Might be the best way to put it. We have pictures of all these NFTs up on our Twitter. So if you're really into NFTs, but you're also into DeFi, a lot of opportunities here to have some fun in October and maybe win some stuff. Yeah, with that, am I missing anything, gentlemen? That was a lot to talk about.
Sure, it was also dope. They have some great projects going on there. I didn't realize how many other collaborations were kind of hiding in that picture you're talking about. Like I knew the Moonbirds. There was a few extra in the background. I didn't even. You're sharp, man. You got a sharp eye for those NFTs. You're big on that scene.
Well, yeah. I mean, you spend enough time. You see that. You see those nouns DAO glasses in the background are very recognizable in the space. And of course, the Moonbirds. I mean, these are 2 of the leading projects, which I'm super excited to see what that art's going to look like. The first round was amazing. So the first round of Grumples, they actually brought in dozens of artists in the space, dozens of established with a wide variety of styles and it was a lot of fun to just see the different ways that people interpreted this story, this world setting that the goblins live in. But if you're listening to this and you're just there to flip and make some money, hey, we're talking a few $1,000s worth of NFTs here up for grabs. So if you don't even care about the NFTs, then hey, you sell them, make some money. No judgment here.
Yeah, I wish, speaking of that, I wish I could get in to win one of them. But yeah, the value that of the NFTs we're giving away, it's kind of huge, right? That's what I'm really excited for. So, I think exactly whether you're trying to get an NFT position on Goblintown's, or, you just want to flip them and, make a quick buck. I think the value proposition is huge, because we're talking about like thousands, right? Multiple ETH worth of
Yeah.
value in this contest, but really you can get that one ticket just by buying $50 worth of it. Even if let's say you buy 10 ETH worth, right? And that comes out to not 10 ETH, sorry. If you want to get like
Wow,
10
we got some
tickets.
big bags in. Yeah, I don't know what level you're trading on, sir, but let me just. I look at my wallet. You're making me feel very, very poor right now.
Oh yeah, no worries. I don't have 10 ETH on me, so don't, no, we're in the same boat. What I meant was, like, even if you get like 10 entries, right, and that comes out to like $500 worth of Noom, right? You get an outside to win one of these NFTs that are worth like multiple X what you're buying in Noom. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I'm sure we're going to see folks that come in to buy the Noom to get their tickets into the raffle, and the raffle's random, by the way. To get the tickets into the raffle, and then they may very well sell off the Noom at the end of the day. We can't control that. We hope you end up staking the Noom, right? But for me, if I was looking at it and I had a chance to win it, I another investment to win, one of these prizes, I think is, for me, that'd be worth it, right? But again, the team is not allowed to compete, so this is a community only
No.
kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, Pat, did we? I think we didn't mention one component of the giveaway, which is for anybody that does stake the Noom that you buy in the time period of the giveaway, right? So for about the for through whatever Noom you buy to enter the contest, if you stake that Noom, that same Noom that you buy, it will double your entries. So if you go and buy, $500 worth of Noom, you get 10 entries, right? And then if you go stake that $500 worth of Noom for 12 weeks or more, then it's not just 10 entries, it's 20 entries, right? So you can really get a really good chance to get one of these for a pretty low, initial upfront cost, right? Just to
Yeah.
get those raffles. And by the way, what other raffles do you get to enter where you're actually holding an asset that has value after you buy your raffle ticket? Because every other raffle, even like those Omigo ones, right, where you can win a car, a Tesla, or a house, like you're just paying $50 and then you hope you win, right? For us, it's you're actually holding Noom, which has value. So I think that's
Well,
pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, like, this, if I was gonna go and just casually try to participate, even if you're not actively trading, if you have US dollars, you have stable coins somewhere, go move your stable coins into NumisMe for a while. Take advantage of our APR. So you're going to make money while you're in the vaults. You're not going to expose yourself to any sort of upside or downside risk. If markets suddenly dump, you're going to earn money on that, and you're going to get entries into the contest. I mean, that's kind of like a no-brainer for me. And
Yeah, right.
the one I know we're not going to legally participate, but I am going to enter a drawing myself. So I can't help it. I got to participate. I think it's just too much fun. I love that we're doing the drawing contest because there's a lot of people out there that aren't really active in DeFi. And I do think this is a great chance to get exposed to DeFi a little bit if you're native to the NFT space and haven't really dabbled in DeFi. Basically, think of it like a better version of your bank in most ways. Right? It's compared to traditional finance, but it offers more competitive rates, access to more services than you're going to be able to get at your bank. The average savings account in the U.S. is what was it, 0.05%. That's the actual average for a savings. That's what they call it, for a savings account. We beat that. I mean,
That's
we're doing double
crazy.
digits. Yeah, we're doing double digits on stable coins. So, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
the
why do
math is there.
they
It
should
makes
stop
sense.
calling they should stop calling it a sorry, they should stop calling it a savings account and start calling it a losing account.
Well,
Oh,
against
wow, wow.
inflation, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
against
mean,
inflation. Yep.
it truly is. Well, and you know what's funny is this is very public knowledge. There's been articles written about it in the media over the past year or two. The thing is that the current generation, younger millennials and Gen Z, have never really lived in a period of savings account. Or even certificate of deposits or anything else, right? You know, banks, and this isn't just a U.S. problem. This is actually very common across the world. They've always just lived in this period of time where banks really just aren't very generous. But they're, of course, the banks are making extreme profits anyways. So, the money's going somewhere, just not to you. But DeFi changes that. So if you are an NFT native person, you're just DeFi curious, drop in and drop us a note on Twitter. Come see me, Mr. Poppy, or join one of my live streams. We do educational content. We talk about the space. We talk about how to trade, how to interpret charts, how to just use a DeFi protocol or set up a Web3 wallet. We do all that. And we really, truly just want to make the space a little bit less frightening to navigate and show people that there's a lot of goodness in it. But anyways, off my soapbox, mister. I don't know. What else do we have on?
When you get on your soapbox, actually, there's always some really good. I think it's so good to hear the passion that you have, right? And really, that's what drives all of us as a team, right? Like we're trying to make a difference. We're trying to change the way that DeFi and really crypto at large has operated over the past few years, and we do that by learning from all the mistakes that others have made, and you know we haven't made any of those crazy mistakes ourselves, not, but we're for me, if I can speak for the rest of the team, we're really motivated to kind of change the way finance is done, right? And the only way we can do that is one, by really focusing on that tip of the spear, which is onboarding the retail masses, right, into crypto. But number two is really to make it less, like you saying, frightening, less stressful, less anxiety inducing, and less of a hassle. Less of a hassle, or how do you say that? That doesn't sound hassle. Reduce the hassle that it takes to stay on top of DeFi, learn DeFi, stay on top of it, right? So to that point, we are doing a app-wide UI refresh to make our app.numisme.io the distributed app, decentralized app, make it easier to use, easier to understand, right? And so yeah, it's always good to hear your passion, Mr. Pappy. One thing I noticed though is a lot of people are asking questions about NFTs. We just came out of this AMA and there were a lot of NFT questions, and maybe it's because we're giving away the Goblintown NFT. I do see one of our listeners, Builders Collective (BDLC). We're always looking for collaborations with other projects, and especially NFT projects. We'd love to support the space. And I know I love to hear that Pappy is actually going to submit an art thing. For those of you who don't know, Pappy is an undercover artist, by the way. So he's an artist.
Undercover artist.
You're an undercover. No, you really are though. Like that's not what you talk about, but it's like your art is. We lean on it really heavily, and there's a reason for that because you got good stuff, man, and you
Well,
got
and
a good eye.
I think if you're going to be active in Web3, which DeFi is is just one facet of Web3, then you got to acknowledge the NFT space, and the NFT space is so expansive. It's not just art; it's so many other things. I mean, we've talked about it before. Like for example, use NFTs as a way of managing real estate and buying, selling properties. You got musicians, obviously like Snoop Dogg, Eminem. I mean, are great examples of releasing music. I think Val Kilmer, the actor, actually released some music. I picked up one of those songs. He has a little art collective, and they released a song. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on, and there's just so much, when you think about it in terms of DeFi really is financial services and the amount of liquidity and money floating around, and I think they're mutually beneficial. You are starting to see in the past year where NFT and DeFi services are kind of colliding. They're kind of combining forces. And you're seeing, for example, an NFT protocol that offers staking rewards of some sort. This is becoming very common. But those staking rewards, obviously you want to have some sort of financial backing to the. On the other hand, you're seeing DeFi services that might do things like token gate a high yield investment opportunity, as in you have to own a particular NFT to get into it, or maybe you get bonus yield because you own an NFT. These are things we've talked about too as a project that maybe in down the road is we get a chance to expand our lane a little bit, that those are things we might want to do as well. And I think that's where, Mister, you're talking about collaboration. I mean, right now, collaboration for us means, hey, we can help you manage your treasury, your investments. We can help you do those kinds of things. But in the future, it could be, hey, true, service to service collaboration where your NFTs and our DeFi protocol actually integrate in a meaningful way to give more services, more whatever it is to our respective communities.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, I think now is the time to start the conversation. While the bear market is kind of keeping everybody a little bit quiet, right? Let's build, let's make the partnerships, and then let's have these integration conversations as soon as possible, so that when the bear market's over and the bull market kicks in, that we're positioned, right, to take full advantage of that next leg up, right?
I think a good way to think about who you invest in and what you invest in and where you spend your time. It's a finite asset, so you want to partner yourself with communities that have a meaningful roadmap. If you're not challenging the status quo somehow, and you're not trying to push the boundaries of what Web3 is and can do, then you're probably not in a good project. And I think a great example is what we're trying to do with our patent pending technology that would enable essentially to digitize cash transactions at the point, if you're in a store and just boom, say, hey, I don't want the cash back. I want to switch it up digital right there at the, where you're buying stuff. Also using that same technology to give access to advanced financial services to the unbanked in many parts of the world. Also to help retail, large corporate behemoths, optimize their operations and save money because handling cash is expensive. These are all things that we don't really see people in the space doing yet. And we have that our patented pending tech that we are trying to integrate into the space, right? That's pushing the boundaries of what you see. We are not just a basic DeFi yield aggregator. There's thousands of those out there. We are trying to do so much more. And I hope that, if you're new, if this is your first time on a Numis meeting with us, I hope you'll stick around and check it out and, see what we can do, in the coming year or years, I should say.
Instead of secret agent man, you're secret artist man.
Secret artist. Nice. Sorry, I was on mute there. I was just saying, I was talking to myself actually, but I just wanted to add, we don't have to dive it right into the deep end with these conversations with any NFT projects that are out there. We can start small. Maybe it's a co-marketing kind of a collaboration, and that kind of sets the table for a deeper partnership going forward. A call out to NFT projects out there that might be listening. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's Twitter DMs or come into our Discord or our Telegram. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And even if the conversation goes nowhere, we're always friendly. We're looking to have these conversations, and for us, there's no such thing as having a conversation that turns out to be a waste of time, because at the end of the day, we're making friends and we're creating alliances, and we're just trying to get stronger as a collective, so that we can, again, be in a position to really take advantage of that bull market when it kicks in, right? Which is, fingers crossed this sooner rather than later. But yeah, I was actually going to give Young Savior speaker rights, but it seems to have dropped off. He's been requesting to speak for a minute. But yeah.
Yeah, he
Sorry,
he was dropping on and off. Part of it might be Twitter. I've been having problems too, kind of losing my connection. But yeah, if anyone wants to come up, what's funny is I can't even see everyone. Sometimes the like it showed just you and me for a long time, but now I see Misam's here. Hey, Misam. Anyone want to come up and ask any questions or any comments?
And while we're waiting for folks, if they want to raise their hand, we're happy to give speaker rights. One thing, hey Peter Griffin, thanks for joining. Good to have you here. We just wanted to mention as a final thing, if anybody is in here, I'll give speaker rights to Peter Griffin. If anybody is in Dubai or in a close enough region where you feel like coming out and come check out our booth at the conference that we're attending out there, please hit us up. Let's do it. Well, we can chat in real time. You can see our booth. You can see everything that we're doing out there. Hopefully you get a chance to see Misam on stage. We are a sponsor, so we do have a little bit of a pitch / keynote session going on. But yeah, I'm super stoked for that one. But yeah, looks like Peter Griffin's got a question or a comment. Please. Oh yes,
Hi.
you unmuted your mic. Hey, good to see you.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, man. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you been?
Yeah, happy
Yeah,
Friday.
I'm good. Same to you, brother. How is your Halloween coming?
Oh.
I mean, I wish I'd made some plans so far. Only Halloween plans for NumisMe.
You dress like drug. You're gonna see me in your room, bro.
It's all right. If anything, I'll just dress up and I'll get on stream and TG or Discord or something. We'll have a little Halloween party.
Well, I'm really excited for Halloween because Halloween for us over here, I'll be dressed up as the NumisMe mascot, which means I'm just going to be myself. But San Francisco Blockchain Week kicks off on October 31, or the last day of October, and goes through November 1, 2, and 3. So I'll be attending a lot of those events. So if anybody's in San Francisco as well, and you want to meet up, let's meet up. Let's talk shop. Whatever you want to do, grab a drink or a coffee. But yeah, that is essentially the first week of November. With plus the last day of October. So yeah, would love to hear from anybody. But yeah, I'm not sure what your costume's going to be, Peter Griffin. But just judging by your avatar right now, maybe it's a giraffe. What is that? Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I think I know what Poppy's is going to be. I think he should be the Numis Newt. He should go from frog to newt.
Newt.
The Numis Newt, man. It's the spirit animal of NumisMe. What do you think, Misam?
We got a lot of alpha dropping in this Numis meeting here. But hey, Young Savior, thanks for joining again. You do have speaker rights. You just got to unmute your mic. We'd love to hear from you. Question or comment, whatever you got.
Okay, so let me just drop mine and then allow the next person to talk. I actually just wanted to really thank you guys for the good works you guys are doing, and really hope that we all get there, But in as much as we get in there, I really want us to be full of, no matter the religion you are, be full of prayer. These are the major things that would really help us in these days that we're entering into. You can really imagine what is really going on with US dollars and so on around the world right now. So I would really advise that everyone be full of prayer for NumisMe and for individual people, right? So that's that.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. That's so well said. I think, yeah, regardless of religion, I think, we are all blessed to be so early in this space and to be connected like this and really trying to really change the way finance, or really trying to make sure that we can make finance more accessible, easier to use, easier to understand. So yes, I think we're blessed in so many ways. So thank you for those words. That was beautiful. I think we're on the same wavelength there, Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello.
young savior. Do you have
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Good evening. How are you doing?
Doing well. Good evening to you.
Yeah. For this October, so I know that there are some events going on, and I'll be though it's currently my birthday month, so and seeing you guys talking about October things and also October events, so that's a good news. So I just I was just conclude hearing your hear me on Telegram. So from there, that's where I heard that you are coming to Twitter Space also. Then I would like to know more about your app and did you how are you be able to secure the apps in the terms of transaction, because I heard that the app will be like will be like in form of doing some transaction from banks and all other um crypto aspects.
Yeah, so by secure, do you mean how are we going to facilitate those transactions, or how do we keep the transactions secure from a smart contract perspective?
Yes, what I mean is concerning the apps.
The apps, okay, great. So, in terms of our app, which does live on app.numismeeting.io, for anybody that's not familiar, the way that we secure it is in a few different ways, right? We do have a multi-layered, multifaceted audit approach that makes sure that our code is as hardened as possible, and we do make sure that we only use yield strategies, which is basically just a fancy way to say. The steps that we take to generate interest on your digital assets, we make sure that we only use protocols that are stable and are proven as safe, right? They have a track record that without any exploits or any kind of really adverse events. And we make sure that they're not just, that they have this proven record, but that they also have a good model, right? Because we're not trying to go into the next protocol to get exploited because of some um, you know tokenomics, bad tokenomics, right, or unsustainable tokenomics. So we're really trying to secure the protocol in multiple different ways, and one of the best ways to secure the protocol from a value perspective is to stake your Noom token, right, because that does secure the value and really does support the price of Noom, right? Which is important for holders. And so yeah, that's we do secure in different ways, and just to keep in mind, I think it's important to differentiate what we do from a Celsius or even a Binance, right? If you look at BSC, the Binance Smart Chain, and the recent BNB exploit that happened, that kind of stuff can't happen to us because number one, we are non-custodial. We don't use bridges, and we are currently on Ethereum. And so, much love, much respect for Binance and Polygon, upon which that the code for that chain is based. But we are in this unique position where we never take ownership of your assets. We can never halt withdrawals. We can't go bankrupt because you are the one that is effectively putting your assets into a yield strategy. We help you do that through our smart contracts, but you retain ownership of your assets. So we can't go bankrupt because it's not our money, right? It's not our assets. So certainly we can't halt. So I think, from a security standpoint, we're not just hardened against exploits through our audit approach. We're not just keeping an eye on the various protocols that we integrate with to generate yield, but we also make sure that, everything that we've built from the ground up is done in a way where we can't ever be insolvent. We can't ever halt withdrawals, go bankrupt, halt the chain, right? And so, yeah, I would say, you know, we're all that is kind of supporting our goal of making DeFi easier, but also less stressful, less frightening, less scary, right? I hope that answers your question. Yes, awesome. Got a heart. Great. Well, it's been almost an hour at this point. If there's no other questions, maybe it's any other questions, last call for questions before we wrap this up? All right. What do you say, Mr. Pappy and Aaron? Is it that time? Are we wrapping up here?
I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as usual, it's a happy Friday, and we hope everyone has a blessed and happy weekend. And we're looking forward to seeing you next time. And, you know, in the meantime, please do hit us up on Discord, Telegram, and Twitter.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for coming out for the AMA and then also here to the Nameless meeting. This is going to be a great update to get around. I can't wait for this to get up there. We'll get it up soon. And we'll see you guys sooner, hopefully.
Yep. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.